Hey, welcome to The Explainer. This is where we take really big, sometimes complicated ideas and, well, we break them down into frameworks you can actually use.
So today, we're going to unpack something really interesting. It's Pharmacist Ben Future's whole philosophy on why we get sick, and more importantly, his unified strategy for health. We're going to start with a frustration I think a lot of us share, then we'll travel upstream to what he says are the real root causes, and finally, we'll look at his big picture solution. All right, let's dive right in. And we're going to start with a feeling that, well, it's something a lot of us know all too well. It's that feeling of being caught in a frustrating cycle, especially if you're dealing with a chronic health issue. You know the drill, right? You're bouncing from one specialist to the next, just trying to get some answers. I mean, it seems like the logical thing to do, doesn't it? You've got an issue with a specific part of your body, so you go see the doctor who specializes in exactly that part. But here's where pharmacist Ben Fuchs throws a wrench in the works. He asks a really critical question. What if this super-focused approach, this laser focus, is actually making us miss the bigger picture entirely? So, an eye problem? Off you go to the ophthalmologist. A heart issue, and bam, you're seeing a cardiologist. And, a skin thing pops up, so it's a visit to the dermatologist. And look, each of these experts is doing their job, right? They're diligently tackling their one specific piece of the puzzle. But here's the kicker. According to Fuchs, this whole fragmented approach, it completely misses the point. He argues that all of these separate, diverse symptoms, from your kidneys to your skin to whatever else, they aren't separate problems at all. They're just different branches on the same dying tree. They're all signs of one single systemic issue that he, pretty bluntly, calls MBFA disease, or my body is falling apart disease. Okay, so if chasing down each individual symptom isn't the answer, then what is? Well, this is where Fuchs says we need to adopt a totally new first principle. And this right here, this is his core idea. He says, where you see the problem is not where the problem begins. The symptom you're looking at is just a signal. The real cause, that's located upstream. So what does he actually mean by going upstream? Well, it's pretty simple, really. It means you have to trace that symptom, whatever it is, all the way back to its true origin. And Fuchs argues that this journey, it almost always leads you back to the body's main operating systems, your digestion and your metabolism. But he's really clear on one point. The digestive system, it's not just another part to look at. He says it is the root system. It's the soil that your entire health grows out of. Okay, so let's actually follow that stream, right? Let's go upstream. The first major system we hit is the blood. And according to Fuchs, the blood can become, well, a literal highway for toxicity. His claim is this: all disease is cell disease. It all starts at the cellular level. And why do cells get sick? Because of what the blood delivers to them. Or, just as important, what it fails to deliver. So Fuchs points a finger at two main culprits that make our blood dirty, as he calls it. First up, you've got a compromised gut. You've probably heard the term leaky gut, and that's when stuff that's supposed to stay in your digestive system leaks out into your bloodstream. Not good. And the second big one? High blood sugar. He says sugar acts like a toxin that literally makes your blood thick and sludgy, and that sludgy blood is a major driver of inflammation all over the body. And this is where a really dangerous chain reaction kicks off. This toxic, sludgy blood, it just can't do its job right. It can't deliver oxygen and nutrients the way it's supposed to. So what happens? Your organs start to get starved, and at the same time, they're getting poisoned. And that just leads to this massive cascade of problems everywhere in the body. This brings us to a really powerful analogy he uses. Fuchs calls our circulatory system the railroad of toxicity. Just picture it. This dirty, sludgy blood is like a train chugging through your entire body, and it's making stops at every single station, the heart, the brain, the skin, you name it, and at every single stop, it's dropping off a little toxic package. Okay, so we've talked about the blood. But if we go even further upstream, there's another absolutely critical area, the very structure that literally holds our body together. We're talking about connective tissue. And this is where he really flips the script on how we think about aging. He takes all these common conditions and reframes them as just a breakdown of this one thing, connective tissue. I mean, think about this for a second. Glaucoma? He says that's not just an eye problem, it's osteoporosis of the eye. Wrinkles on your skin? That's osteoporosis of the skin. All of a sudden, you see it's all pointing back to the same fundamental mechanism. And the way he describes his connective tissue is It's just incredible. It's not just some boring, passive scaffolding holding you up. No, he calls it the goo and the glue of the body. It's the jello mold that gives your organs their shape and holds them in place. And get this, he even calls it the womb for every single cell, the very matrix that nurtures them.
This all leads him to coin this amazing and kind of funny term for what we see as aging. He calls it blobification. You know, that sagging, that loss of firmness and structure that we all notice over time? He says at its core, that's just blobification. It's the physical sign that our vital connective tissue is breaking down.
Okay, so if the big root problems are dirty blood and deteriorating connective tissue, what do we do about it? What's the solution? Well, Fuchs proposes a unified strategy that goes right after these root causes. So you can forget the old idea of a specific pill for a specific ill. His solution is a multi-pronged approach that's all about restoring the body's foundation. It means you stop chasing symptoms and you start focusing on the real stuff. You focus on fixing the gut to clean up the blood at the source. You work on controlling your blood sugar to get rid of that toxic sludge. You use strategic supplements to literally rebuild that connective tissue. You improve oxygenation, and that can be as simple as deep breathing. And finally, you help your entire system detoxify itself. And this, right here, really captures that fundamental shift in thinking. The standard medical model often feels like you're just treating the rotten fruit on the tree. You're focused on the symptom. This systemic model, it's about ignoring the fruit for a second, getting down on your hands and knees, and focusing all of your energy on nourishing the roots of the tree. And that really is the crucial takeaway from all this. Once you start to understand these upstream mechanisms, your whole role can shift. You go from being a passive patient, just receiving treatments, to becoming an active, empowered participant in your own health story.
So ultimately, this whole framework challenges us to ask a new question. What if that problem you're dealing with isn't the problem at all? What if it's just a signal, a message from your body inviting you to look deeper, to go upstream, and to finally find the true underlying cause?